Joining me today is Tyler Lorenz from Residence and Recovery, the Executive Director. Thanks for taking some time to talk to me today, Tyler.
You're welcome.
So the big news today that I want to talk to you about is Residence and Recovery recently opening your doors again for some in-person programming. Can you just talk to me a bit about that?
Sure. So back when COVID started back in March, we shut down all day programming here at the center. Sober living clients and community people still took part in our day programming, except it was all virtual over Zoom. So about a month or two ago, we opened the programming center up to sober living clients, and then community members participated through Zoom. And then just last week, we opened it back up to the public. We're comfortable that we have the right, checks in place that we can do it safely. We've reorganized the programming rooms, so we have each house in a row, and then community members also separate as well.
So how important is it to be able to have these meetings in person versus doing it virtually over a Zoom call?
Yeah, it's really difficult doing day programming over Zoom. It wasn't so bad when everybody was on Zoom, but when you have different mediums, it really makes it difficult when you have some people face to face, in person. That conversation tends to take over, and the people that are virtual tend to kind of be left behind. So having everybody in the center and taking part just is a way more interactive and supportive environment.
Now, I know you've only been back to doing, in-person meetings like this for the past week or so, but how has it been so far, transitioning back to being in person?
It's been great. We've had some participation already, which is great to see. Our numbers aren't anywhere close to what they were pre-COVID, but I imagine that'll come in time. COVID resulted in a lot of people falling back into active addiction. So, we got to work at getting some of these people back into recovery, and then support them through our day programming as well. And that takes, a few weeks or months. So.
And that was something else I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how the opioid crisis has kind of gotten worse during COVID. Overdoses have gone up. Just what do you see, how concerning is that for you? And what do you see as kind of something that should be, what should we be doing as a society? What should governments be doing to try and address this pressing concern?
Yeah, the trend is no surprise to any of us. Anybody that works in the addiction field really saw this coming. You take away virtually all the supports for somebody struggling with addiction for months on end, the result is catastrophic. So, we have a lot of former clients even that, we're working a really strong recovery program. Some of them, over a year clean that relapsed as a result of COVID. And that's just a reality, right? It's really disheartening to see, somebody do so good for so long, and then, have something like this, really tear things apart. And then combined with the fact that, a number of programs closed and were closed for months. So, we couldn't get people into detox or into treatment. And some of those programs are just starting to reopen now. So, a lot of the programs in Saskatchewan were closed for 4 months, and it just blows my mind that that's even possible, because individuals' addiction issues don't just go away as a result of COVID. The isolation and all that really contribute to addiction rather than support recovery for a person. Yeah.
And I know last time we talked, you mentioned a bit about the work that's being done to try and open up a facility in Bonnyville. And I understand even here in Lloyd, there's a big waiting list and you're always in need of donations. But just how difficult is it to try and expand and reach the need of the surrounding community, but with kind of limited resources?
Yeah, it's tough. We have a group of people up in Bodyville that are really supporting, us to get this going up there. We're just waiting on a hearing with town council to get a development permit approved, and things will be going up there. Realistically, a residence in recovery could easily operate at capacity in virtually every town or city, in Alberta or Saskatchewan. The demand is there everywhere. It's not just, a local thing. Uh, Sober living and providing that continuum of care is something much needed uh, for recovery. And it really doesn't exist anywhere else other than on Woodminster right now. We're starting to see some programs open in Calgary, and hopefully some other ones in Saskatchewan. But really, this idea of a pre-treatment sober living program is completely new. Uh, and so, branching out into other communities and supporting struggling people in those communities while they wait to get into treatment, could happen anywhere.
And just before we go, I understand Residence Recovery actually updated your guys' website. You got a new website. Can you just talk a little bit about maybe what's new with that?
Sure, we just kind of freshened up the look. We had a lot of information on there, and most of it, a lot of it wasn't getting utilized. So we kind of trimmed it down a little bit. We've moved all of our application forms online, to get away from paper copies. Partly a result of COVID, but also it just makes it a lot easier for us as well. So, everybody can apply either for day programming or sober living online now. And it just streamlines the whole process. So, yeah, it's worth a look and lots of information on there. Our forum page kind of has, updates on what we have going on, and so in ways that people can support us.